Good Moed, everybody. Mo'adim l'simcha. Welcome. Welcome to everybody. Just a reminder, today we're going to do into 3 sections because of the 2 days of the holiday and today's learning. So we're going to split it up into 3. And although I think the discussion will wait till the end. Okay. Welcome everybody. And we welcome John from North Carolina, Anna in New York, Robert, shalom to you in Boston, Michael, good afternoon in Germany, and David, a bright early morning in California. TJ, good evening all the way in Australia, and Usher is with us in Tennessee, Simcha in Florida, Erica, shalom to you in Norway, Susan in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Estella in North Carolina, welcome, Soraya, Chag Sameach, Danit, Boker Tov, June in Australia, good evening, Zara in not certain where, but welcome, Julia in Florida, Jay in Indonesia, good evening, Gina, good morning, in Calgary, Tim in Texas, Boker Tov, Margot in New York, Freddie is with us, welcome, Chag Sameach, Liba, and Davida in New York. Who else is here with us? Greg in California, together with Paula. Welcome, Batya and David in Montreal. Yeah, Gary in Moscow. Okay. Clem, Brisbane, Australia. And then we have Batya and Vilma, Eliana, Sina, Norm, Tim, Marcy, Selena, Celeste, Jeffrey, David. And of course we have Jens Televenta, Aliane, welcome. Sarah, welcome, and Yocheved, Akoy. All right, it's wonderful. Okay, folks. "22nd letter in the very intriguing one, as we will see shortly. And very different. The Alter Rebbe begins, Ovai achai v'rei, my beloved, my brethren and friends. Out of a hidden love for you, I openly rebuke you." He says, Zechor yemei Seilam, remember the days of old. Binu shneis dor v'dor, and consider the years of generations. So he says, has such a thing ever happened in the days of past? Where does such a custom come from that we see from the earlier sages of Israel? What is the issue here? That we should ask a mundane question or mundane matters, those things that are of a physical concern, to a Torah sage, or even to a righteous person. Where do we see such a thing? Do we see that in the Talmud? The men of the Mishnah, known as Tanoim, or the men of the Gemara called Amoraim, who for them there was no secret hidden. The paths of heaven were clearly illuminated. Yet, we don't see that people came to them and asked them advice in material things, in the needs of, livelihood and the like. But, he says, where do we see that is in prophets. The prophets of Israel, like Shmuel HaNavi, Samuel the seer, that Shaul came to ask him, where is the donkeys of his father that were lost? That's of a, personal material concern. The donkeys that were necessary for his livelihood. But the fact is that all matters pertaining to an individual, except for the words of Torah and the fear of heaven, can only be apprehended by prophecy and not by teachings of the sages. As the sages do tell us that there are 7 things hidden that no individual knows. How you're going to earn your living, one of them. When Mashiach will come is another. In other words, these are secrets unless they're given to you in prophetic vision. But a sage, Torah scholar, even a righteous one, well, these are things that are hidden. It says in Isaiah that a counselor and a man whose wisdom silences all, meaning that they seemingly have the qualifications to answer all and silence all in all areas. And it says that, that Torah sages are people who you benefit from their counsel and wisdom. So it sounds like, beyond just Torah. So he says, no, that's actually speaking about counsel and matters of Torah, and counsel which comes to counsel determining the months of the year, when Rosh Chodesh will be, before the time that before we had a permanent calendar. And therefore, this is what a Torah sage is about, the teachings of Torah and in any area to help a person in their spiritual life, but not in their material life. What does this mean exactly? So this was something that the Alter Rebbe wrote to Chassidim. What are you coming to me to ask me these questions? Which, by the way, he responded and answered those questions of material, mundane issues. Even after the letter he did. So what does it mean? Well, either it means he has prophetic vision. But this was something that every Rebbe, every tzaddik, people came to and asked them. So what was the Alter Rebbe trying to do over here? Perhaps he was trying to bring them to a new level, higher level of living, as we will see as this carries on. And in Chabad, there's something unique about Chabad, is that ultimately the tzaddik, the Rebbe, is someone there to give you the power that you can achieve on your own. Not that you're dependent on the tzaddik, on the righteous Rebbe, but that he gives you the tools that you can achieve on your own. That's something unique in Chabad. Other Hasidim, it's not so much expressed. It's more, their reliance on their Rebbe, but in Chabad it's not that way. I'm not going to go into great detail into that. Perhaps it's just a conjecture on my part, but we will see. But here, the idea that a Torah sage is for Torah knowledge, for the spiritual well-being of an individual, and the material things, well, that's not what they're there for. That's the concept that he's bringing.